Thank you, Dr. Alavi and Lily, for that wonderful welcome address. I'm really excited for our first session that will showcase the architectural potential of this technology. Jenna Dezinski of Big Architects will be giving a talk on sculpting tomorrow through architecture and 3D printing. I'll first briefly introduce her, and then we'll head on to the presentation. Jenna joined Big in 2018 and has overseen work as a licensed architect on mixed-use developments across North America. In recent years, Jenna has focused on Big's project development in Texas, including a recently completed office tower in Houston and a 3D printed residential work with Icon in Austin. Jenna has worked previously at several other renowned architecture firms and has held teaching positions at the University of Texas in Austin and remains active on design reviews at various institutions. Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to present you Jenna Dezinski.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me? I hope so.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, good. I'm going to share my screen here. We'll get moving. Thank you guys for having me today. Looking forward to talking with you a bit about what it means to give form to 3D printed architecture. As Jared noted, I'm Jenna Dezinski, a senior architect at Big in New York. Today we are going to talk about 3D printing, but before we dive into that, I wanted to just give a little bit of an introduction to our firm, for those of you that don't know Bjarke Ingels Group. So Big is a global architecture firm founded in Copenhagen with 6 offices worldwide and over 700 employees. I'm based in New York. Here's a picture of our New York office. We have a space in Dumbo here in New York. As a firm, we do more than just architecture. We do landscape engineering, architecture, products, and planning. It's what we call our LEAP model. It's fully integrated design. And we design from a range of scales from, what you see on the left here of a lamp and a chair all the way up to a plan for our planet. And so that's how we work. And I think this slide here is to kind of talk about form giving, which is something that Bjarke talks about a lot. It's the Danish word for design, which means to give form to something that has not yet been given form. You can see here on the screen, part of Big's process is to iterate and test what it means to give form to different typologies. And with that in mind, I would like to kind of start talking about our collaboration with Icon. So Big has been working with Icon to explore what it means to give form to 3D printing for the last several years. And I'm going to give you an overview of a few of our projects together. I've worked on a couple of them and not all of them. It really, it's been taken a large collaboration of many people here and many people on Icon's side and other experts. It really takes a whole group to get a project like these to fruition. So we're really thankful for all of our collaborators on these projects. So we'll start from kind of the beginning, which is Icon's Project Olympus, which is what we this is the first project we really started on with Icon. It's a collaboration of with Icon and NASA on Big's only been working on a portion of Project Olympus, but it's a collaboration on a lunar habitation. Apologies. It's really to imagine what a more long-term presence on the moon will look like. To do this, we had to collectively think differently about how we build, utilizing regolith, which is moon rock, to create 3D printed infrastructure, pioneering new frontiers, both materially and technologically and environmentally. You can see here, this requires new types of architecture, from landing pads, which is in this image, like landing pads and roadways, and eventually to habitats, which is what we see in this image here. We explored various building forms, ideal for containing atmospheric pressure and optimized for protection from cosmic and solar radiation, to get to the design of this habitat you see on the screen. And in short, we won't get into it too much, but it's using a lattice work of 3D print to basically create a formwork to hold loose regolith, which is has great properties against protecting people from radiation. Moving back to Earth, we designed the Cosmic Pavilion at the Long Center in collaboration with Icon and Liz Lambert. It was unveiled at South by Southwest in 2023. This project really showcased what Icon's 3D printers can do, creating an organic, undulating 3D printed wall that serves as a backdrop for performances. So the wall starts from what you can see here, this is a construction photo. The wall starts from a wave-like shape at the bottom and ends at a pure circle. So it creates this kind of undulating form that you see here on the screen, and also in the built final product. It also has this halo cantilever canopy that's used to support performances. You can see here that the wall is, both aesthetically beautiful, but also performative. It has these openings where we need to allow for program for people to come around onto the stage. And the undulated forms you can see kind of on the left of this were thought of as places for people to sit. Here's a close-up of that that split where it cracks open to allow people to come out in and out onto stage. And a close-up of those undulating forms where they create niches for benches and seating and gathering, both during a performance and outside of performances. This is an early photo from the launch in 2023 of one of the first performances before the canopy was installed, but it really gives you that idea of this wall serves as this backdrop for performances and really becomes part of the Austin skyline, and was a great showcase. It's a great civic space that still is ongoing for theaters and concerts in Austin, Texas. Moving on, the pavilion that you just saw was a precursor to El Cosmico, showcasing kind of the unique and cutting edge 3D printed construction that is currently underway for El Cosmico in collaboration with Liz Lambert and Icon again. For those of you that are not familiar with El Cosmico, it's a hotel and campground located in Marfa, Texas, that has an eclectic style and a very creative approach to hospitality. This is an aerial view of the existing El Cosmico site, but it really gives you an idea of kind of the mix between semi-enclosed to enclosed structures. Kind of at the top, they've got Airstream trailers. In the middle, there's temporary tents that people bring, and then at the perimeter, at the top is yurts and different kind of canvas ways of staying for lodging for camping. So I think in a way, like Liz was a frontier of the idea of glamping that we all kind of know now, but she really brought that here and was on the forefront of some of the unique ways to think about, a hospitality experience. So I think for us, we've been working with Icon and Liz on the relocation and expansion of El Cosmico to more than 60 acres that will showcase an entirely new architectural approach made possible by large-scale 3D printing, including domes, arches, vaults, and parabolic forms. Also, programmatically, what you see here is the new spa that will be there. There'll be new lodging, hotel lodging, new shared communal facilities still for camping, and a collection of Sunday homes. The designs, this is a view of the 2-bed Sunday homes. The designs are intended to create an interplay of elements that echo the cosmos. It's the idea of like the cosmos meeting the earthly and a tribute to natural and human innovation and wonders, really, which is already something that the current El Cosmico is about, with the stargazing out in Marfa, Texas, is unreal. It's also, the forms are also inspired, by the desert landscape and Big's previous work with Icon and NASA. So the Sunday homes are really laid out in a way they're thought of as almost a kit of parts. So starting with a unique circular shape, something that you really kind of capitalize on and create with 3D printing to house the bedrooms and like the restrooms, and really laying those out in a way in a 2, 3, and 4 bedroom arrangement that creates this interstitial space where the living and dining is. And all of it is faced page north towards the view of the mountains. And it's really about an architecture inspired by place, but not just place, but also like printing and kind of the co-synergy of those two things. So these solid, 3D printing is a very solid, heavy technology. So thinking of ways to use that for public and private separation, opening up to the views, but then, closing to where you need privacy, also orienting for light and sun. As well. This is a view of the interior of the pavilions, the Sunday homes, and you can see on the right actually are the solid bedroom volumes. So it's a unique nesting of program. You look kind of past them through to the mountains from the public spaces of the house. Moving on to the hotel lodging, this is an image of some of the hotel lodge typologies we'll have at El Cosmico. On the right's an Astrodome. It's a single unit. On the left, we have the Astro Spiral. There's both 1 and 2 unit sizes for that. This collaboration, I think this view shows how this collaboration has allowed us to pursue formal and material possibilities that are only available with 3D, like cutting edge 3D print technology. And in this case, as Bjarke stated before, it's like we're untethered by the traditional limitations of construction, site, and client, really, with this El Cosmico. So we're very excited about seeing it come to fruition. You can see with the Astro Spiral taking advantage of 3D print's organic kind of form abilities to spiral inward to kind of open out from public and spiral to the private, which is the bed here, and really coming down and creating that bed form. And we've done that in various ways, taking advantage of the print's ability to kind of come out and create seating and walls and I guess, countertop height throughout the Cosmico. This is a test print a photo of a test print at Icon's facilities in Austin of the domes. And here's a view of looking up. So this is the Astro Dome typology, which here's a view of what it would be like looking up out of that. So the idea with this one really is the domes is really to, when you're in there and you're staying overnight, that you have this tethered like view of the sky, right? And you can imagine at night with the stars. So there'll be a skylight on top of this. I'm really excited about. Moving on to the last chunk here, just to catch you guys for a few more minutes on the other thing in parallel. We've been designing and thinking of how to move 3D printing into residential and how to reimagine the single family home with Icon for several years now. There's two printers, not to get too much into technology, but there's two printers that we've been working with in these designs of Icons, the Vulcan printer, which is a gantry suited for many types of residential projects, and the Phoenix printer, which was just launched at this year's South by, which is suited for multi-story projects and different site constraints. So really using both of them when appropriate. The first one is Wolf Ranch. It's a community of 100 3D printed homes north of Austin in the city of Georgetown. The project was co-designed by Big and Lennar with Icon. 95 out of the 100 homes are complete now, and there's 5 left. This is a view in process. On the right, you can see the ones finished with the roofs, and then the left ones in process in an aerial view during the construction of several printers running at one time, which is, one of the advantages, right, of these houses in the way that they're built with the 3D print. A lot of what Big focused on here with Icon and Lennar was how to integrate 3D print with standard construction, like the windows and the doors and the garages, and detail that and really take those details forward into future projects. And you can see here on the interior, similarly thinking about integrating millwork, the things that you need in a residential design still, and how that can really seamlessly interface with 3D print and provide a new look and feel. And as well, like, with the island here, 3D print to even the islands. Moving forward, the last thing I'm going to touch on is the at Wolf Ranch. I guess we populated a master plan with a vocabulary that was specific to 3D print at that time, and really got us thinking with Icon in a process that led us to Icon's Codex collection, thinking differently about the typical process of subdivisions, the possibility of creating completely different way of organically delivering large-scale communities. Codex launched this year in March. It's Icon's digital catalog featuring more than 60 ready print homes across 5 collections, 3 of which were designed by Big, and what we'll look at quickly right now before I go over time. So the first of the 3 collections we designed was Texas Next, and it really is looking at traditional Texas typologies and how to innovate on them and reimagine them through the lens of 3D printing. So this here is a rendering of the porch house design that we did with Icon, and you can see it on the left here. It has a full wraparound porch. In the middle, we have Dog Trot, which is a traditional breezeway design, and I think in this one, really focusing on using the 3D print capabilities of really shaping these breezeways and kind of softening the edges and making a really kind of a dynamic, inviting internal space there, as well as layering kind of the exterior of the house with these curved forms that create storage on the inside, something that you would not see like in a traditional speculative house for a suburban development. On the right is our ranch house, and this one was thought of as a full through breezeway from front to back porch house living too. We've got a front porch and a back porch, enhanced and supported by the 3D print, again, using the 3D print for those private spaces to create these volumes around that frames that view, which you can see in this shot here. It's the 3D printed volumes at the perimeter, really giving shape to the space. The shape is really spaced by those 3D printed volumes, and then enhanced, by some of the layouts. You see a vaulted roof. There's a couple options actually for the roof on this one. The Storm collection is was designed for hurricane and like storm proof with Icon. So thinking about aerodynamics, this is an example. Also, not just thinking about storm, but also thinking again spatially about aggregation. This is a different way that we were looking at it with Icon, aggregating form, if you design kind of like your rooms and your living rooms units and different units, you can arrange them, right, as we have here. You can see in the top is like a 2-bedroom all the way up to a 3-bedroom, thinking of it almost as a kit of parts again that you can aggregate. And this one, it's less pavilion-like and more like an enfilade, as the rooms on the right show in the images. Here's another example of that. And then the last one to touch on is firehouse. So thinking about fire resiliency. So designing a neighborhoods and areas that need fire protection, taking advantage of the unique, kind of fire ratings of Icon's wall system to create a fully, this one is an example of one of our fully printed designs. But not only that, also taking advantage when you fully print of what kind of forms you can think of differently for houses, right? To provide, this is our courtyard typology, but it's really shaped in a way for the program inside. Which you can see here on the left, the living and how it opens up. It kind of uses that vaulted space to shape the living room and open up to the courtyard. On the right is the dining area. So I guess the last thing I'll touch on is, the goal of Codex is to allow builders and developers and home buyers to build with Icon quickly and affordably world-class architecture for everybody. And they'll continue to introduce new collections, not just with us, but also with other architects. And we've been really thankful to be a part of looking at how to revolutionize an industry, that has not changed for quite some time between the building industry and the way we live. And so we've really enjoyed, it's been a great collaboration with Icon.
Thank you, Jenna, for such an insightful presentation. I really enjoyed all of the beautiful images, and I think I speak on behalf of much of the audience when I say that. It's truly remarkable to witness the diverse applications of this technology being employed today, ranging from single-family houses all the way to outer space. There's only 5 minutes remaining in this segment, so I have a couple questions to ask. Just please, we'll try to keep it short, so as we have to hold to the 12:30 time segment. But yeah, my first question is, when working with such a renowned architecture firm such as Bjarke Ingels Group, what does your firm see as the potential of designing with 3D print technology, and why are you choosing to use it?
Yeah, I think, we are really at the beginning of what 3D printing can do. It's something that Bjarke talked about too. If you think about it, right, it's not been around that long, but, so far we've already made really great strides, right? And not we, but like people like Icon and people on this webinar, right? They've made great strides in the technology. And so it's already, it's amazing to see what's already done. And it's a great opportunity to explore for us, like what architecture can bring to that, what languages can sprout from this new technology. And we see it becoming, a new form of building and providing an alternate path, right? That comes with really its own opportunities.
Thank you. And then my follow-up to that is if you could briefly touch on some of the opportunities and challenges you've faced when designing for 3D printed structures versus more traditional type structures typologies.
Yeah, I mean, I think the opportunities are, ones that people have talked about a lot in the industry. I think, the idea that you can kind of print more on demand, right? And kind of mass customization. And you can think of what we've just been talking about, like single family homes for all that are, more avant-garde and, have these creative endeavors, but don't have to cost more. Those are some of the great opportunities, printing in places that you maybe wouldn't be able to get other resources to, right? That have less opportunities. I think some of the challenges, of course, have been like how you integrate traditional systems, but I think you can see like in the work that we've done with Icon and Lennar on Wolf Ranch and into the Codex that we've really overcome a lot of those and really come up with, putting the heads and minds of many interesting people together, come up with really creative solutions to that they're no longer challenges. I mean, that's the point of architecture, right? Like you take the challenge and you make it not a challenge, and innovation in general. So.
Well, thank you so much. That's all the time we have for this segment. We'll take a brief 1-minute break and then we'll move immediately into the next talk. Yeah, thank you, Jenna and Big Architects, for contributing to this insightful conversation.
Thanks for having us, you guys.